welcome to Follow Everton. I'm joined today with Robby to react to Everton's shambolic performance at Wolves. Hopefully, Robby's going to put a positive light on this performance. But I mean, what did you take from that? What's your gut reaction to this?
The positive light to that match was I'm still breathing, I'm still alive, and I hope everyone's well, because at the end of the day, did we get off the bus? I don't think we did. Wolves, I mean, let's face it, they came and did a smash and grab at Goodison. We smashed them, didn't we? We did exactly to them in the first half as what they did to us first and almost the second half today. It was just like carving a knife through frozen butter. And was the system right? Maybe Mr. Dice thought it was today, but it clearly wasn't. You had bad days at the office. It's gone. We got beat. We well and truly got beat. I mean, that was like an awesome performance by Wolves. You know, let's give credit where credit's due. They are, and they've got a team there playing like the way we would like to play. And we've been playing some good football. We in recent weeks. And unfortunately, that's our third defeat. So we've lost 9 points, haven't we, literally in the last week. So, do you know what? I breathe a sigh of relief and I just go, I think we were lucky to get away with 3-0. And I'm not going to start blaming players or whatever. From an Everton point of view, glad to see the back of 2023. I really am. And I just hope that 2024 brings us some points back on the board from those corrupt individuals, and that's it. That's me for now. But do you know what? Lovely to see everyone. I've been Santa Claus for 6 weeks, and now it's back to follow Everton. So I've missed you all. I've been looking at the streams from afar, but unfortunately not being able to get involved. Wearing the suit, which is not blue.
And we're glad to have you back on the streams, and obviously we've got a few games coming up in January for you to get your teeth into in a new year. But we can't move quite so swiftly on. We've got to digest, I suppose, what we've just seen. For me, it was the worst performance of the season. I just didn't enjoy it. I think the system is going to be blamed for a lot of this. I think we took in the press in the preview yesterday. I was talking with Mabsy, and we thought they would go with the regular 4-5-1 or 4-4-1-1 formation we've been playing in recent weeks. I think there's a case to be made for why you would go with this 3 or 5 at the back to match up Wolves and not create too much of an open game, and 3 centre backs so that 3 centre backs can match up with 3 fast, tricky wingers. And put our fullbacks high and pressed onto their fullback. It just didn't work, did it? It just didn't plan out like that.
No, I was genuinely impressed by the way Wolves played. They were always looking to open us up, and they did it every time. I mean, for some reason we just couldn't stop the crosses coming in, could we? And every time it was like, it was heart in mouth time. If you're a Wolves fan, you must be absolutely made up, because you pay your money to go and watch these millionaires, and you hope that your team put on a performance. Wolves did. They absolutely they smashed us, and unfortunately Everton didn't. It's we languish 17th. With 16 points. Thankfully, the other teams below us got beat. But I personally, we've had years of watching the other teams below us more than us, watching them, hoping and praying that they're going to get beat. And we've got to look at ourselves and go, right, okay, what happened there? I'm sure there'll be a little inquest at Finch Farm. But half the season is gone now. So you're looking at, okay, where are we picking the points up again? Because we've got to go to Main Road soon. I say Main Road because I'm old school. Got to go to the Etihad. We've got Aston Villa next, haven't we? I know we've got Crystal Palace in the cup, and that's for another day. But I'm talking about the league, because I look at them points, and we're not guaranteed. Are we getting any points back? I'd like to think we will. And if we had 26 points, we'd probably be up in about 11th position. So it's kind of, when you've been had off like the way we have, each week we're going into the game and I'm anxious each week because each week is like a cup final. And today, it just didn't work. Didn't work for me today.
No, I suppose it's hard to put down because Everton were just second best at everything. I mean, we've got to credit Wolves and the energy they showed, and they are just really incisive. They're quick thinking, the way they play the ball off the touches. They'd obviously watched some of what Man City did to us as well in terms of exposing those balls into the channel, the through ball. Our defenders don't like to be turned. Tarkowski, Michael Keane, they're slow. They turn like boats. They just couldn't keep up with them. I was sitting there questioning, well, why isn't Godfrey playing? You know, put the pace. He knows who he's playing against. That Chan, we knew he was going to be tricky and difficult to deal with, and he was just a menace the whole game. We just couldn't live with their pace and precision. And it could have been 5, I think. I think had 2 goals ruled out from offsides. Personally, I was sat there after about 10 minutes thinking, this isn't our day today. And we're not with it at all. We're sloppy. We're giving the ball away. There's 5 at the back. There's no support for Calvert-Lewin at all. The 2 incisive wingers were just useless, really, because they didn't know where to be. They were trying to be inside rather than on the wing, so we had no option down the wide. The fullbacks weren't getting forward. I just thought it wasn't working, and it didn't take me more than 10 to 15 minutes to understand that it wasn't going to work. And I just can't understand why it took 65 or 70 minutes for us to go 3-0 down before making a change to bring off centre-back and go to the normal formation. I thought we looked a lot better with Gomez in there. You know, not considerably better because it just wasn't our day at the office, but just a little bit more perked up and a bit more chances of scoring. I just think Dom's isolated that formation.
Yeah, I mean, just out of interest, I mean, you might know the answer, but how much did Wolves pay for that Hwang, their striker?
I'm not sure on that.
Because, like, is he Korean or what? You just don't know, do you?
Yeah.
And you look at him and you go, oh my God, where have you come? Because he's like...
Good. I can't remember if he was at Dortmund or somewhere like that previously.
Absolutely fantastic. But for the system today, you know, again, I'm not slagging the manager. I'm not getting it. We're not going there. But the system didn't work. It's as simple as that. Sometimes you go to the office, don't you? And you just have a bad day and you go, do you know what? I'm just going to have to put it behind me. And that's all we're going to have to do, because they're just going to have to sit down and go, right, okay, where are we going from here? Because, you know, the window is open in January. Are we going to get someone? Well, they've spoke about it, haven't they? But it's only probably going to be a loan unless we sanction, as we have done recently, a big name to be sold. And I wouldn't. That's one for maybe another stream, but I wouldn't put it past the club to maybe possibly, if someone comes in with a massive. I don't mean so much Branthwaite. I don't think they'll let him go. But if somebody came in for an Nane, you know, let's put it out there. If someone came in for an Nane and offered 60 million quid and he can have it up front, would you sell him? I say 60 based on, is he worth 60? At the moment, probably not. And this is just my opinion. However, you're buying the years in the future, aren't you? He's only 21 years old. And I'm not slagging him off. I'm just, we are a selling club. We're clearly up the creek without a paddle, according to other individuals, although our deficit was only 19.5 million, and we all know we've been had off. I mean, we all know this. But at the end of the day, if someone came in and said, we'll take him off your hands, would you sell him? Because we can't, you know, today's performance, we could just do a stream for 5 minutes because we were shut. We offered nothing. We didn't give nothing. We got leathered. We were always second best. We were chasing shadows. So there's the stream done. So I'm trying to bring a few other little things in it because
Ryan will ask us to. Ryan will want us to break down the goals, but I don't know if there's much to break down.
Yeah, break down the goals. I mean, we couldn't stop. We could not stop those crosses coming into the box. It was just bang, have it, bang, have it, and it was like, you know what? It was actually, if you're an Independent and it's not your team on the other end of what's happening, they were a pleasure to watch. I am an actual football fan. I'm not a bitter individual. If you see someone that turns you over, you go, you know what? I'll applaud you, I'll clap you, I'll buy you a pint outside and just go, hey, well done. Because, I expected Wolves and Bournemouth to be down the bottom, struggling with us. Absolutely no chance. It must be a pleasure. If they're playing football like that every week, I know they weren't when they came to Goodison at the start of the season because they were absolutely crap, but they took 6 points off us. But if you're paying your money to go see that week in, week out, that'll do for me.
Yeah, I think we've hit them at a time when we probably didn't want to be hitting them. We've turned our form, not considerably, but we did lose 2 games and went out of the EFL Cup, and they just won their games and then flying confidence and precision. I think that obviously didn't help, and they do look, on today's performance, they look a really good outfit. And you can't take that away, can you? I just question how slow it took to make any adjustments, but it's a real difficult one because as a manager, you put outside, don't you? You prepare your tactics, you watch the videos, you do your analysis, you put outside, you think you're going to win, and then after 10 minutes, I don't think they're mugs and they didn't see that it wasn't really working. Whether that's down to tactics or application, I don't know. I don't think the application was terrible today. It's not like they didn't put any effort in. I just think they were just totally outplayed. And for me, some of that is tactical and should have been dealt with at least at half time. If you don't want to embarrass yourself by changing a formation in the first half, then at least change it at half time when you won 1-0 down.
Yeah. So from an analysis point of view, we were second at the races. Our system didn't work. We couldn't stop the crosses coming in. Every time they were trying to put the through ball through, because they know that we've got two ship containers at the centre of our defence. I'd take Branthwaite out of that, but it just didn't work. So the analysis is, how far do you go into? It didn't work. Before it becomes quite depressing. So we've got to just go.
If anyone on the team wants to pick up the screenshots of the formations and show how the movement and transitions didn't work, they're welcome to in the next few days. But I think for now, we can put a line under that. We can go through the goals if you can remember them, because I find they just blur into every Wolves attack. It's all the same, isolating down the wide areas, nice crosses across the face of goal, not defended by Everton defenders and tapped in. I know there's a scrappy one. The third one was a particularly scrappy one where it just kind of bobbled and he just got a touch on it. But the first 2 were like, one was from a corner, was it? And it was like second phase of play. I can barely remember them.
Yeah, the second one was a cracking ball in, wasn't it? Pickford made a good save, and then it was again a bit of a scramble. Pickford was up for it again, and then you knew it was going to end up in the back of the net.
Didn't defend the cross.
Yeah,
Pickford got onto it. It scrambled up in the air and just didn't fall for us, and then he smashed it in, didn't he?
Yeah, well and truly smashed it in. McNeil, it was a cracking shot, wasn't it? When he hit the post, you know, you've got, if you can get a goal, you've got a little bit of a lifeline. But after that, you're just thinking it was a little bit. It could be this, but it could be that, and it might be this, and it might be that. It was never nothing. We didn't look like we've got the wow factor. It's quite the opposite. But you know what? That's when you're Evertonian, that's life, isn't it? We've come to expect that sometimes we don't know what we're going to get from week to week, and we put a cracking run together. From a points point of view, at this time of the season, last season we had 15. So we've got 1 point more. Wow, yes. As it stands, because obviously we've
That's
had
with the
points
deduction, right?
we've had points taken off us.
So we'd actually be 11 points better off, which is a real improvement, isn't it? For a team
massive.
that isn't
But our goal difference is -4
considerable
again now. You know, we'd worked hard on that and we were in the plus. But
yeah,
three
Luton,
defeats.
you look at Luton; they've got like -12 or something, haven't they?
Oh yeah,
-4.
yeah. The others around us are into double
Ridiculous.
figures.
-34 for Sheffield United at bottom of the
Yeah,
table.
yeah. They, you know, I don't see them as a threat. But you know, the likes of Luton, you know, they came back today, and it was like, it's. You know, they were 3-0 down and came back 3-2, and then all of a sudden you go, oh, you know, there was a chance they could have got a draw. Bailey were exactly the same, weren't they? They got, in the end, it was 3-2. So those results went for us, which is great. But there's going to be some weeks when those weeks don't go for us. That's why we've got to do the business ourselves and get ourselves, because currently we're still in a mess. We don't know what's going to happen with those points. So we've still got to look at it and go, okay, we're not getting them back, so we're in a fight. We're literally in a street fight, aren't we? Week in, week out. Aston Villa are up next. They're flying high. So, you know, it's a massive game in 2 weeks. Little break, isn't it? After the Cup, there's a little break. There's a week's break next week, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's strange, isn't it? All these fixtures in quick succession hasn't really helped us because we've had that cup, since that cup defeat on penalties kind of took the sting out. We were good at Spurs, but we've had 3 poor results now and all very quick succession of games. We've got to use this cup game as a springboard now next Thursday. We've got a little bit of time now to get bodies back, hopefully. Hopefully Decore's back. Nana looked like he picked up a bit of a knock, and I wouldn't be surprised if a few others were carrying little niggly injuries. As you say, yeah, we've got Aston Villa coming up, then away at Fulham. It's only 3 games in this month.
Yeah. You know, the likes of Decore, he gives you another option, doesn't he? I don't think sometimes he's that leggy. He doesn't even know what he's going to do. And the opposition can kind of deal with him because, you know, he can balloon the ball into Gladys Street past the stand, but equally he can put it in the back of the net from 30 yards as well. And I think when he's out, and he's been out for a couple of weeks, you miss someone like him because he has got a goal in him. So some of the others...
It's his link up as well. I mean, he's obviously not the best passer of the ball, but he just seems to read where the ball is going to be and just link it into midfield or link it into the forward men. And I thought today he tried to use Harrison and McNeil as this sort of inside forward 10, 2 10s off the wide area. They barely got the ball, and when they did, it was and Calvert-Lewin. The pass just didn't. If they controlled it, it didn't go anywhere because they were isolated by Wolves defenders, and there was just no support. You've got to have Decore in there because he seems to always be there knitting things together and just winning second balls, especially when we go long. We were going long a lot. What was really frustrating me in that first half, playing 5 at the back. Usually with the 5 at the back system, you play these 3 defenders, so you've got lots of bodies around that space and you can pass the ball through the lines and out. It's not really designed for a long ball system, in my opinion. And we were hoofing it long because we couldn't break through Wolves' formation, and the ball was just spitting off and going back to them because we've got no Decore around. I think he's so pivotal to the play, so I'm looking forward to having him back. But we have to find ways of winning. We did win at Burnley, didn't we, without him? But since then we've really missed him.
Yeah, Raymond, is that you talking about Decore there? Are you?
Yeah, he's talking about Decore.
Okay. Do you know what? We're all, you know, the whole point of the channel is for people to have their views, aren't they? From my point of view, I think it's been quite obvious we have missed him. So he's a 31-year-old fella, and he is fit. He is one amazing athlete, and he's got 1 or 2 years left in him. So from my point of view, my friend, I personally think we've missed him. But if you think that we haven't. That's what the channel's all about. It's all about sending your little remarks in and let's have a chat about it. This is our analysis, isn't it, of where are we going? Come January, is there anyone who you fancy? If we did sell one of our massive players and got some cash in, or is there anyone you fancy on loan? I've not even looked who's available. And then you've got to think, has someone got the bottle like Jack Garrison to come to us? Because I think these prima donnas would swerve us, wouldn't they? Me personally, that's just my opinion. Tell us what your thoughts are, because I think I've not even looked.
You'd have to look around, wouldn't you, and see who's available on loan. I think that's probably our best route to an option if we're not going to sell any players. Maybe look at some of these. Maybe look at some clubs like Chelsea and Spurs. You know, have they got any surplus sort of players around? But you have to look, what do we actually need in the squad? I mean, we could sell Onana. I think I was thinking about it yesterday. Onana, Mykolenko, Branthwaite, and James Garner. Which of the four? They're probably the most profitable sellable assets right now. Which of the four do you sell? For me, it is Onana, because I think he's more replaceable. I mean, not exactly in his stature and skill set, but he's replaceable, as in the position could be replaced with a decent midfielder, and will get us a lot of money.
Yeah. Peter, take your bets. Will Ivan come? I reckon he won't. 4-2 on.
He's going to Man United.
Yeah, he'll go for anyone who gives him the most money, because basically that's what it's all about now, isn't it? That's not just him.
We can sell Onana, but if the money is just going straight into bankrolling us and it's going on FFP situation, then I'd be saying no as a fan. You know, let's just carry on as it is. If we're going to be able to use at least 40 mil of a 60 million thing, you know, then maybe it's a different question, because you can go out and get two 20 million pound players, which would contribute to the team. But right now, I wouldn't be looking to sell anyone unless somebody was coming in with big offers. What about you?
Yeah, no, I said 60 million before for Onana, and I'd have add-ons for that as well, just based on his age, because he'll go somewhere, and you know what? He'll probably be a superstar, won't he? But it's just not. This isn't a slag Onana off. It's just, are we in a position to move someone on in January to shake things up from our point of view? Because, like I say, we are. I won't say we're on the running, but we're over the halfway stage, and we've got 16 points. I do believe that we will get some points back. That's what I actually believe, because I think at the end of the day, they'll be named and shamed at some point, and they'll go on, then you can have a couple of points back. So I think we'll be safe. However, it's absolutely soul-destroying week in, week out. And, you know, when you've supported the Blues as long as I have, you never, ever, ever thought years ago that you'd be in this situation, like year after year after year. It is actually quite soul-destroying. And I am a positive person, but some weeks you just go, do you know what? Because it's not just the points, is it? It's the, I think we're the only team. No, I don't think we're the only team. I know we're the only team in the Premiership not to even have a penalty, aren't we? And you just think to yourself, you know, people go, don't get paranoid because there's no agenda. And you look at what goes on and what has been going on, and you just can't think in a positive light about the PG, MOL and the FA and the Premier League and whatever, because for some reason, I don't know what it is, and I've done a lot of work with Everton behind the scenes for like 30 years, so everyone was treated really well when they came to Goodison Park, really, really well. I don't know what Everton have done to upset the apple cart with the powers that be, but it's for some reason we just appear to be the sacrificial lamb.
I think it's an interesting one with the points deduction. I've heard a few rumours about 4 points coming back at some point, but I just don't know how to view it, because I do feel like we'll get out of it I do have confidence. I think we are on the up. I think we have to take this game out of the picture a little bit, because this has seemed like a game that could have been from last season, and it's been plonked in. And most games this season, I can't really think of a standout other game where I've watched it and thought we were just hopeless and nowhere near it. Most of the games we have looked good and have created opportunities. So we've got to take this one out of the picture. But I mean, if we get all the points we need to stay up, I feel like they'll just give us the points back because they know it doesn't matter. I just don't know how to view that, because the other clubs, Chelsea, Man City, do we want them to be punished? Do we want them to be punished as extreme as we are if they have committed it?
Well, I think when a crime's been committed, okay, because obviously I've been involved in that kind of the game for many, many decades. People want justice. They just want someone to be made accountable for what's happened. It doesn't fix what's happened, but they just want a level playing field. And it's blatantly obvious in the Premier League that that is not the case. I'm talking about the judicial system now. When a crime takes place, people think that, okay, it should be this, and quite often, you can be disappointed because it depends on lots of things. Was the CCTV evidence, and there was the jury? Did the jury not get all the information and whatever? And then so that's the criminal side of it. The football side of it, it's Man City offer more to the Premier League from a financial point of view than Everton do. So all of a sudden, you might have two sons or two daughters, and you love one more than the other, or you treat one better than the other. And if you were asked a question, you go, well, that's just the way it is. And that just seems to be the way it is in the Premier League. I just think you've got your fancy barristers. That's great. Absolutely great. And you know what? I'm sure our barristers are absolutely spot on as well, because they're on massive wedge. I would just see that you're not telling me that those 115 breaches have not been looked at. And how many years is it now? I look upon it as total incompetence by the powers that be for not nailing that, and it goes on year after year after year. It's that's a crime in itself. And all I'm saying is, I don't want Man City to be docked 150 points because, well, and all of a sudden you're playing in the local park, because that's never going to happen. And you can't fine, as they've said in the past, you can't fine millionaires or billionaires because it doesn't hurt them in the pocket. Personally speaking, I don't think they know what to do, because they're not investigators. These people are not investigators. They're just a load of ex-directors, and if you look at some of the people and you look at their background, some of them have not even got a football background, and they just sit around, don't they, and go for a breakfast and go, so what do you think? So I then sit on the back of the surfboard with what you think, because I'm not quite sure where I'm going with it, because I don't really know what I'm doing. And these are supposed experts. And I just think with the Everton scenario, they've just gone, we need to be seen to do something because the government are looking at wanting to have an independent reviewing body and this, that, and the other. But listen, we need to keep control of all this, and that's what it's all about. It's about control. It's about money, and where you've got money and control, you've got corrupt practices. I've seen it. I've observed it for many years. So that's where we are.
If Everton hadn't admitted the breaches, perhaps there would have been a slightly different process that would have gone on. With the other clubs, they haven't admitted; they've denied it and denied it and denied it, and that's how they're spinning it out for years and years and years, and will probably never be dealt with.
But it should be nailed, Basil. It should be nailed. But like I say, you've got incompetent individuals. They are incompetent individuals looking at it, and do you know what? They don't know what to do. That's what it's all about. They don't know what to do. So that's why you've got nothing happening.
We can bring in
happen.
Ryan. I don't know where he is. If he is,
Oh,
he got
I
5
should
minutes.
take the red bow tie off, shouldn't I?
He's in the toilet.
Yeah.
Are you? Is it echo?
No. I'm in a corridor outside a wedding venue. I don't have long. Good evening, boys. Nice to see you.
Hi.
Oh my God, that game! Oh my God, it was like going back to Frank Lampard days and Rafa Benitez. The defending for the goals. I mean, stop the cross. Read where the ball's going to go if you can't stop the cross. The keeper for the third goal, the fourth goal that never was, where he got saved by the linesman. It's going back, isn't it? I mean, what the hell's happening here? It's a disgrace. I haven't heard what you said about it, but I cannot believe the standard of goals we conceded today. We went 4 games without conceding a goal. We've conceded 8 in 3 games, of which most of them were SHIT.
Yeah. We've that's our analysis of the game. It's like stop the crosses, we couldn't, and we were punished. We were chasing shadows. Ultimately, in our summary, we were chasing shadows.
Can I touch upon that some points here with the situation? I mean, when you're defending the corners, when you're defending the corners, can I magic 3 points? Because we've got so many players. Just got to be careful.
Yes, we go live at the toilet in the Adelphi with Ryan. Ryan's a performer, by the way, so he's a professional singer. So he's got a gig today, just in case you're thinking, where is he, and whatever. So that's his livelihood. So when he performs, he commands
Taking a professional break.
Probably about £75,000 a day. So we can't hear you, mate. This is. Can you hear him?
No, I'm starting to lose hope that Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan, keep trying, mate. And if you come in on the sound, we'll obviously talk to you.
It's a difficult one.
Should we go to Baz? Should we go to some of the comments, mate?
Yeah, let's go to the comments.
I mean, we've got to have a laugh, haven't we? Because the humour is great, isn't it? I mean, thanks. We always say, don't we? Thanks everyone. We it's a pleasure to talk to you and all those people out there. You're the regulars. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and tell everyone about us, because I think we're just touching 7,000 people now that follow the stream or whatever. So he's a man. Ryan, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we'll go live to the Eurovision over at Liverpool, and tell us your votes, please, Ryan.
Right. Not happy with Sean Dyche for going with 5 at the back. When has 5 at the back ever worked? When it's 5 flat defensive statues, because all that means is the defenders have to come out because the midfielder's getting overrun, and then everyone's dragged everywhere, leaving pockets of space in behind and pockets of space in the midfield. So that's your tactical problem number 1. Tactical problem number 2, from the corners, everyone's back inside our box, meaning when we win the ball, even if we win the header, Wolves get it back straight away and can build that pressure, build that momentum, and get another ball into the box so easily. The crosses, stop the cross. If you can't stop the cross, get your body position in the right place. Why have you got 3 central defenders and not one of them can read that situation for that goal? And the third goal, give me a break. Another cheap ball. And Pickford should save it. It's hit with no pace on the header. It's unbelievable. And then we never look like scoring a goal. In a month of Sundays, they look way off the pace. So slow, sluggish. The whole team was far too deep. We needed to be 10 yards further up the pitch, squeeze right onto Wolves. It was a tactical mess. Dyche gets a 0 for me today, and that was the worst performance of the season. That's all I've got to say.
Do you think he could have coped with that, though? I don't know if the Everton defence could have coped with being another 10 yards forward. They were having trouble enough keeping up with Wolves. They were exploiting our back line, playing balls in behind. Couldn't stop them going through.
But if the press is
Certainly didn't have
there,
the pace.
if you
But the
press with
press was
intensity,
the
Wolves
press
wouldn't
was
have been able
useless.
to. If
The
you
press
press
was
with enough,
useless today.
if you press with intensity and enough players up the pitch, then it stops that ball going in behind you in the first place because they haven't got 15 yards to ping passes everywhere. And on that bombshell, I'll leave you two Blues to discuss it. But I'm fucking furious today. But I'm gonna laugh.
Yeah.
I'm putting a smile on my face because if I don't laugh, I'll cry, and the other team's all lost. So
Yeah.
stay calm. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Just on the Chris. So, should we have a little chat about performances and?
Yeah, did anyone play well today?
Chris has got. I mean, Coleman came on probably after about 60 minutes, so he's got to give him a 7. He's given Rana as a 7, so that's his kind of star man there. Mike 07 as well. Yeah, apologies. So yeah, thanks for that, Chris. Chris is one of our ever presents. Anyone else with any views on who you thought our star man today? But who would you give our man of the match to today? In all fairness, I don't think it's easy.
I'm not sure. Do you think
and I'm
that?
struggling.
Do you think that a rating of 6 is what average? Is that an average performance, or what? How do you define?
I'd say 5 was average.
5 is average.
Well, that's what.
Some of those ratings there would indicate that the team were average or slightly above and below average. I think if Everton play an average performance at Wolves, they don't get hammered 3-0 and know we're off the pace.
Yeah.
I think the ratings are lower than that personally.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. But like we say, we're not dissing Chris, are we? If Chris wants to go, listen, do you know what? Chris might have won the lottery, and he's feeling rather joyous. And for me,
best player.
I mean, I think our best player, I'm not quite sure who would give it to, would only probably get a 6 today, and that's just above average.
I don't know who I could give it to. I really struggle.
Which is quite sad, really, isn't it? That sums the day up, doesn't it?
Nobody really got going in that formation. You could argue maybe Onana, but he gave the ball away so many times. For as much as he was bright and controlling and good passing, and he'd then do the opposite like 2 minutes later, and it would just be so frustrating.
Yeah. And again, we say, don't we? We're not dissing one another on here, because Chris is great. Steve, it's all literally football's about opinions, isn't it? So it's kind of we're struggling.
The match was watching Tarkovsky get really annoyed and go flying into a tackle on the right hand side. Yeah, that's the highlight of the game.
Yeah,
we have a shot on target. Can you give a man of the match to a team that didn't have the shot on target in the match? And where did 9 minutes of added time come from? Can anyone digest that for me? Because I don't remember. Anything to justify 9 minutes. There's some games where we really could do with the extra time, and then the ball comes up with 3 minutes, and I'm like, how? And then today nobody wanted to play any more of that game. 9 minutes comes out.
I think don't they count 30 seconds per substitute?
I don't know. I thought it was more scientific than that these days.
I'm sure the 30 seconds a sub, and I think that's what they allow. And then obviously you had the goals as well. So I'm not saying they're right. I'm just trying to find a way to justify the 9 minutes because
stopwatch. They should if it's a significant stoppage like a substitution or a goal, you should just press a button on the watch and then tally it up roughly.
There's Peters.
1-0.
Michalenko, is the average man of the match according to Peter there. But Peter,
Yeah.
we know you can be harsh, man, and I hope you're well. Peter.
I mean, you judge Mikalenko's performance. He didn't give the ball away too many times from what I remember. He did get back in and stop a couple of attacks, but I just thought he's not really suited to just being where he was, like too far up, but not really. He just wasn't anywhere. He did a decent job in where he was, but he's not an attacking fullback. We know that. You're asking him to be like the out and out winger. He just doesn't have that in his game, I don't think, at the moment.
Yeah. So literally, we draw the line. We go again. Palace in the cup. So we'll have a preview on that. Probably maybe Tuesday. The game's Thursday. It's on TV, isn't it? And then we've got a little break, and then we go against Villa. But David, Basil, I'm kind of lost for words now because we've had a Sierra Hotel India Tango day at the office, and I think if we continue, we're just going to go round and round in circles.
Yeah,
I'd like to personally thank everyone for coming on and watching us, and having your input and whatever. But I'm done with today's analysis because I am a positive person in life. I genuinely am, but I'm really struggling. I'm struggling with a few things today, so I'm kind of done because I want to try and smile. I've got to go and make me chips now and me salmon and just have a nice tea and a glass of wine with my good lady wife and go, because she's a red, but you know what? She's not a bitter red or whatever. She's absolutely gutted that we got beat because she knows it's a crap day for me. So we'll just go and have a little natter and a little chat, and then we'll speak to you all, and we'll go again against Crystal Palace and hope for the best.
Try and detox, everyone. Try and take a break. We've got a new year to look forward to now tomorrow.
And Happy New Year to all our Blue family on here. Happy New Year, because hopefully it will be a better year for Everton. But we wish you all the very, very best from the bottom of my heart and the bottom of all the team at Follow Everton, because without you guys out there, we haven't got a channel. So thanks very much.
Very much. Take care.
Are you going to finish it, my friend?